Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Bubby Brister and Friends Fantasy Football Podcast presented by Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Bubby is ringing in the new year this week, so I'm joined as always by Nick. Nick, Saquon Barkley has a chance to break Eric Dickerson's single-season rushing record. What would you do if you were Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni? Would you play Saquon this week, or would you sit him?
That's tough. I think it would have to be all. I would put the decision in his court. It's in his court because getting as many yards as he got, it's a big deal, and you're talking about like how many running backs have been. We've seen a lot of elite running backs in our time, and for the idea that he has well over 2,000 yards, like scrimmage yards. This is 2,000 yards rushing, right?
Right, he's at 2,005. I believe the record is 2,105 by Dickerson. When did he set that?
It's like if you're 2,000 yards, you're already like you're in a special class. The 2,000 yard rusher, special class. So now Saquon has etched himself into like I won't say Mount Rushmore because only 4 people, but it's definitely a special green room of running backs that do that. Him, the Chris Johnson, Jamal Lewis, Eric Dickerson, you said. I think O.J. Simpson did it. It's beyond that. I mean, did Derrick Henry do it?
I think he did.
I think he might have done it. So, so that's it's less than 10 people that done it. And the idea that you're 100 yards away from doing it, and he could probably get that before halftime. But I also understand why they would sit him, because he's had more carries this season he's ever had. So they want him fresh for the playoffs because they can't win without him. They can't. They just can't.
Yeah, I have his stats pulled up now. They're astonishing. Dickerson did it in 1984. So let's see how many there were. There are 9.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Derrick Henry did it. So I'm with you. I would leave it up to the player. And then I would hope he said no, because I'm looking at his stats now, and he's at 345 carries, which is obscene.
A lot.
Henry did it in 2020.
There you go.
Yeah, Barkley's at 345 carries. His career high before this was 295. That was in 2022. He's averaging 5.8 yards a carry, which is crazy. He's at his career high in touchdowns with 13. The problem with the record now is...
It's an extra game.
Yeah. And, I mean, does that matter? No. Will it matter in the future? Definitely not. But it's going to be talked about for sure. I'm surprised no one's broken the record yet. I mean, that record has stood for 30 years now, 40 years now.
But 2,100 yards rushing is a lot of yards. And you got to be saying, like, when you start rolling like that, defense is keying on you and they really try to focus on you. And that shows how great Saquon is. We saw his backward hurdle he did this year to other stuff. I mean, Saquon's one of the best natural runners in the league in general. The game part doesn't really bother me because Jay Rice had the touchdown record in a strike-shortened season. He had the touchdown record in like 13 games. He had 20 touchdowns in 13 games. So it's like if you have 20 touchdowns in 13 games as a receiver, you're not being Jerry.
Yeah, the NFL numbers are kind of messed up just because of that. And they used to play when OJ did it. When OJ ran for 2,000 yards, that was 14 games.
And that's even crazier. So you're like, because if you gave him 16 games, he would have probably got up to like 2,400, probably 2,400.
I'm so glad running backs are back, though. We talked earlier this season about all the teams that brought in veteran running backs, and they've all excelled. I hope this means that teams start respecting their running backs more and Like, you saw that video. Everyone saw that video of the Hard Knocks with the Giants in the room debating if they should pay Saquon Barkley or not. And the one guy was in the back. I'm pretty sure it was the owner, was pleading. He was like, guys, we make money off this guy. Saquon Barkley has to be thanking his lucky stars every day that he escaped New York. Because he wouldn't have run for 2,000 yards this season with that team. He wouldn't have run for 1,500 yards with that team. He probably wouldn't have run for 1,300 yards with that team.
He probably ran for 13 because what's the name, the rookie there? He's like, I think he's about 1,000 yards or close to 1,000. David.
He probably would have got injured.
Tracy. Yeah, he probably got injured again because he would have like carried a load heavy and everything else. And it would have been a much different team though because Daniel Jones would have been the quarterback. Yeah, so that would have been interesting too. So he does have to think that. But you hit the nail on the head when you said that, it's great to see these teams put emphasis on running back because I don't know if it was the beginning of this year or was it last year, but we definitely had that debate on this podcast saying that, like, the deep value of running backs and, like, just the idea that the handcuffs, there's no bell cows anymore. Running backs aren't getting 1,000 yards anymore. You have to luck out. You might get the vulture that gets all the touchdowns, because you're not getting yards. You just have to hope you hit pay dirt. And there's like maybe 3 good running backs, and everybody else gets like pick up like pieces of like running backs. And this year you saw just every division for real has legit running back, at least 2 to 3. You know what I mean? Just like you would say for the NFC North, Aaron Jones, Josh Jacobs, you got Gibbs.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever see a majority of bell cows again. But I think we'll see a handful of bell cows, maybe 2 to 3, and then we'll see like 10 lead dogs instead of just a bunch of tandems just thrown together. So it's good to see. I love running backs. They're so fun to watch. They're so underrated. They block, they catch passes, they run into piles. They're great. They're so much fun. They used to control the game, but when I was growing up, the running back controlled the game. Now it's all quarterbacks.
If you didn't have a good running back, your team wasn't going to be good because you need to run the ball.
Yeah, you couldn't win the Super Bowl without a good running back.
Right, you just couldn't. So that's a major difference now. And these teams, like you said, I like the term lead dog because you're right. The Detroit Lions, we would say they're the prolific offense this year. Gibbs is a lead dog. He's not a bell cow. Derrick Henry's a bell cow. You could run Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry will run everybody over. By the fourth quarter, you're tired of tackling him. You're never get tired of tackling Gibbs. The problem is that you're going to get tired. You can't catch him. So eventually he'll just keep running around. And I wonder what he couldn't go all season running 20 carries a game.
Montgomery was wearing down defenses for the Lions. That allowed Gibbs to capitalize too on making teams tired. They're a special case, but Bijan Robinson is a lead dog. Yep. Bucky Irvin might become a lead dog next year.
He's turning into one because he's very agile. It's hard to tackle him. To that, the Bijan is the real deal. He's as advertised.
He might be a bell cow.
Right. He's as advertised. I don't think he's bell cow because he doesn't run in between tackles like that.
But, I mean, in terms of getting, like, 300 carries and catching, like, 40 balls, I think he could do that.
Chuba Hubbard showed really well this year as well.
Yeah.
For NFC South. You didn't see that coming at all.
Nope.
So he really showed it right there as well.
Jeffrey was supposed to be a lead dog, and then they tried to make Jordan Mason a lead dog, and they broke him down because...
Yeah, because they're the Niners. Because they're the Niners.
Yeah. They have no respect for their talent. Kenny Walker was going to be a lead dog. Yep. He missed a couple games, though. But Charbonnet, if he got a chance with a team, if I'm a team that's looking for a back, Washington might be looking for a back next year. I don't know if they're thrilled with Robinson. I would try and trade for Charbonnet.
The Cowboys looking for running back because hey, what's his name? He tried to do something late season, but he ain't the guy. He's your second guy. So the Cowboys did look for somebody next year. If I'm the Jacksonville Jaguars, I'm looking for someone. I don't believe it. Tien. I don't believe in him. He had a lot of carries in college. So now he's just not. So that's just not it.
Joe Mixon is a bell cow. Jonathan Taylor is like a mini bell cow who can't hold up on a bad team.
It's weird because John Taylor will he will do and then also he'll hit for 200 yards. He's unstoppable sometimes. Your boy for the Rams.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He's a bell cow because they're running him into the ground. Yeah, I see Todd Gurley.
Yes.
I see Todd Gurley.
How'd we name almost every team's backfield and not name Alvin Kamara? He's like a hybrid bell cow / lead dog.
He's a lead dog. He ain't a bell cow because he doesn't get 100 yards rushing. It's always like 60 yards rushing, another 70 yards receiver. They're a bad team. But I mean, it's always a lot of rah. So it's like, what's happening? So the Steelers have an issue because they don't have really a lead dog or a bell cow. It's just they have running backs.
Najee Harris is terrible. He is Trent Richardson on a good team. Like, if you watch Najee Harris, a lot of Steelers fans won't admit this, which infuriates me as well because I'm like, what are you watching? He just runs right into the line.
Right into the pile, right.
It's so funny.
It's like, there's no vision at all.
None.
Nick Chubb.
His days are over as a bell cow.
I wonder, because he came back this year it was an Achilles injury. So, like the rules of the Achilles, next year he actually might be a good draft pick next year. He'll be on the Browns still, hopefully. And the Browns said they're flirting with the idea of bringing your boy Kirk Cousins there.
Yeah. They should do that. They should do whatever they got to do, honestly. Do you see they're starting Bailey Zappi this week?
Golly, I did not know that. That's disrespectful.
They're on their fourth start.
Are you kidding me? Well, Jameis Winston's not hurt. What the hell?
No, yeah.
Just let Jameis play. Just let him play. It's the last game of the season, and Jameis is going to have a good time, and he's going to sling the ball. They will probably win the game. That's it. They'll probably win the game. They're trying to their draft stock up. They're like, whoa. We're trying to move up that draft, okay? Jameis will try to win the game. But they're not going to
draft a quarterback anyway. They're going to do something dumb like draft a safety.
Like Jameis is gonna pull a Drew Lock and like all of a sudden go for 5 touchdowns, and you're like, dude, what have you done? What have you done? Our franchise is ruined.
I got a lead dog in the making. Chase Brown, future lead dog. I know he did it this year, but I think you can
let him have
project that for him.
He didn't have it. He didn't have that title this year. He was in position to do it because Moss, which is really weird. Moss will be the lead dog, and I don't know what happened. I still don't.
Yeah, he fell apart.
We need an APB on him. I don't know what happened.
And then they traded for Khalil Herbert and gave him 8 carries in 7 games. What? Why? Well, do you got anything else on that?
But I think that's it. Really, the Texans had Joe Mixon, who is a lead dog. You know what I mean? He's
a bell cow.
All right, yeah. He had a lot of carries this year. You know what I mean? For a guy who was kind of a lead dog because he was always sharing carries, and now you let him have it, and he did the thing. So I just wanted to mention him. Raiders, they have nobody.
They got nothing.
The Bills have Cook, and he's more of a lead dog. No bell cow. Because Josh Allen's the lead, is the bell cow. Josh Allen's the bell cow. You know what I mean? The Dolphins, A-Chain.
Lead dog, but, I mean, I could see that changing next year. They need to find a real running back and use him in, the Eckler role, the way the Commanders used Eckler, not the Chargers.
The Chiefs, I don't think they have a lead dog either.
Nah, they have, a bowl of soup.
A bowl of soup. It's a little pound puppy of dogs just kind of doing stuff. You're kind of like, all right, let's just go along. The Chargers too. They don't really have a bell cow because they Dobbs is their lead back, but he's not a lead dog. He's just not. He's never been. He's always been kind of the complement that's really fast.
Yeah, they have 2 small dogs.
Because they have the Gus Bus too, which they've worked with each other forever. So it's all right. It's just. And the Broncos don't have anybody either. The lead dog they have doesn't carry it, so they're in the market for running back next year as well. They need somebody.
They're eating soup with a fork. Yeah, that was good. We came up with that last second.
We just kind of threw that against the wall. Hey, let's talk about the running backs because we're proud of the running backs. So hopefully next year,
I love running backs.
We love running backs.
Let's get into this box score though. We got
All
a
right,
crown Lionheart. Brindle won 169. He beat Rob Hine and the Punishers to 141. If you remember, Punishers jumped out big with 67 points on Christmas Day when Lamar and Derrick Henry 67 points. But really no one else showed up for Punishers after this. 141 is a good showing, but I mean, Alexander Madison had to play in his RB2 spot because Chuba Hubbard was placed on the injured reserve. Terry McLaurin only had 1 point, 1 catch in a awesome victory for the Commanders over the Falcons on Sunday Night Football. Jacoby Myers showed up, 17 points, 5 catches, 61 and 1 touchdown. He was sneaky solid all year, but Jonnu Smith got 11. He's lucky he got 11 for Jonnu Smith because there was no Tua. That would have scared the shit out of me.
Yeah. I'm disappointed. I would say I'm disappointed. It disappointed me because I called it, right? I literally said, again, I'm back-to-back right twice, 2 weeks in a row. I was like, all right, Cincinnati defense, I wouldn't play them. I wouldn't do that. I said it. I was like, don't play the Cincinnati defense because they're going against Denver, and that boom bust potential is there. And sure enough, Denver boomed with my man catching a game-tying, no more time on the clock touchdown, which is the Mims. You know, Bo Nix is showing you something there. He's legit. You know.
Well, what happened? What happened to Hine with the Cincinnati play was some fool's gold because the previous 2 weeks the Bengals played the Titans in Cleveland and they had 20 and 29 points.
Yeah, you played two teams looking at the draft.
Yeah.
Denver's playing for a playoff spot. You played two teams looking at the draft. This team looked at the playoff spot.
And that was in Denver.
Yep. And Cincinnati's defense is absolute garbage. This is why Cincinnati loses games because their defense is bad.
Yep.
You know, and Terry McLaurin's had a quiet last 2 weeks. So he had, in my mind, he had a road to win because, like, Robinson, which, you know, it's hard to predict Robinson's going to hit 18 because, like, Drew Lock became, you know, elite Eli Manning, playoff Eli Manning all of a sudden and started, like, dealing. But there's something there. I just felt that there was an opportunity. Things hit for Lionheart as they did all year. The game was pretty tight with the Niners at first, and the Niners just rolled over in the third, like middle of third quarter. They rolled over and just let him do whatever. You know, and he did that even with was it Jay Williams on the bench? They're getting 24. He had the shocking Indianapolis like -10, which you never predict that either. You know, so I'm not gonna be. Hey, I feel you. You can't predict that. Malik Neighbors went off. You know what I mean? So that's the good tidings of that there. 7 for 171. I mean, the Indianapolis played terribly. They couldn't stop a nosebleed. It was too easy for them. Puka, 10 for 129, where your boy Cooper Kupp, 1 catch for 20-something yards. I don't even know how that works. I'm frustrated by that. Like, this is Cooper Kupp. He would have. I would have said he's borderline that same bar with Wes Welker. Now he's below, and it's ridiculous because he's a triple crown. He's a triple crown wide receiver, and he's a rung below Wes Welker because Wes Welker's never done something like that.
He's had a lot of injuries the last couple of years. I wouldn't be surprised if they're catching up with him. He's a huge reason why I called them pretenders after my first round playoff loss. To Wan'Dale Robinson, real quick, I'll never blame him. I'll never blame Hine for not playing him. But he did have 12 targets the previous week. So if
the potential's there.
If you were looking for a reason to play him, that would have been why. And to Brindle's matchup with the head coach where he lost 10 points. Do you know how many parlays were ruined on Sunday because of that Giants-Colts over-under where they scored 78 combined points?
The Giants team was the only dog to win that past Sunday. All the favors won, and that was the only team that broke it. So if you bet on the Giants to hit whatever, bet on that, you cashed in good. And it's just you know, but you got to tip my hat to Lionheart. You know, hard fought season. You know, he as a Lions fan himself, you know, is this guy be a proud father moment? You're sitting there, this team that because I heard you say he's a real life Lions fan.
Real life for 30 years now.
This man has seen an 0-16 season. This man has seen Barry Sanders retire early, Calvin Johnson retire early because this franchise sucks. He survived the Matt Millen era. You know what I mean?
So many Thanksgivings ruined. Charles Rogers fucking died.
Charles Rogers took drugs and died. Roy Williams was like great and he was trash. John Kitna's career flamed out. Just there's so many. Joey Harrington's hope of nothing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
He was all in on Joey Harrington. I remember. That's when I lived with him.
He was on the cover of EA College, so you have to be great. It's like this is the next guy. I remember Joey Harrington. It was great, and then he was not. I
remember Tony Saragusa was on Fox one day, and he was eviscerating Harrington. This was early in Harrington's career. I think it was his rookie season. They were doing a Lions game, and Saragusa was like, you know how they meet with the players throughout the week to like get stuff to talk about? He was like, yeah, I met with Joey Harrington, and I got to tell you, I don't think he's for me. He was like, I wouldn't build a team around him. This guy plays the piano. I don't think he can lead a football team. And I was like, what?
Damn, plays the piano, can't lead a team? Like, what the fuck? Fat bitch.
I kind of see what he was saying, even though I think the example is terrible.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Because like, you see what he's saying, right? Like this guy ain't a dude, is what he was saying.
What sucks is that I kind of wonder, like, because you really have to sit back and look at these quarterbacks. This year teach us something here, that you have Geno Smith, Sam Darnold, and Baker Mayfield. All three of them elite, like they were top 5 picks, and they got drafted to bad franchises. That's the truth. The Jets again, and the Browns, and it's like they did nothing with them, and they cast them off, and then they go to franchises that actually want to win games, that culture of winning, like let's actually try to win, and players around them that try to win, and then they're all thriving. Seattle's not in the playoffs, but damn, the Minnesota Vikings are playing for number 1. Do you understand the Lions could go from the 1st to 5th and also have to like take a bye to have to go to Tampa and play? That sucks. There's no way. You know what I mean? That's tough. And tip the hat to Minnesota for doing that, because Sam Darnold, you never do that. And if Sam Darnold gets them the bye week, Sam Darnold's getting re-signed, and JJ's going somewhere else, because there's no way I'm going to, like...
Keep them both.
Oh, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
I would. I don't think they will, but I don't understand why teams just cast off either first-round draft pick quarterbacks or their... Like, keep them both. What are you afraid of?
No, you're cooking with that, because you could do the same thing with, it's the Aaron Rodgers 2020 situation with Jordan Love. You know what I mean? You're like, hey, yes, we drafted him, and then Aaron Rodgers has statistically one of the best seasons ever for a quarterback and gets the MVP. So you're like, yeah.
I didn't understand why the Cardinals traded Josh Rosen after drafting Kyler Murray. Keep them both. What are you doing?
Josh Rosen was really bad.
I know he was terrible, but like you already invested the pick in him. You're not getting that back.
That is true.
You couldn't even and he's cheap because he was. And I mean, Kyler Murray. Like I understand playing him and going with him, but keep Rosen as your backup. What the hell? Just have a backup for 4 years.
I guess it depends on how that guy takes it, because if he's a draft pick and all of a sudden they draft Kyle Murray, who is like considered coming out of college like one of the great Texas college sports players of all time. You know what I mean? And goes on team, and you're backing him up. And if Josh Rosen's bitter about it, they're like, we got to move off him. It's kind of like when you had Aaron Rodgers move up, and Brett Favre's like, I'm not okay with this. It's like, all right, we got to move Brett out of here. You know what I mean? Because Brett, it's not going to work. You know what I mean? So it doesn't. Not everything is perfect, like the Denver Broncos situation where they have the guy that was rookie on the Jets. You know what I mean? And he's like backing up Bo Nix. For his name.
Zach Wilson.
Yeah, Zach Wilson's backing up Bo Nix. He's kind of like, cool, I'm just happy to be playing. And who knows? Because Zach might pop up 2 years later, because we know he has a big arm. he's athletic and all that. He could hit, and all of a sudden he's the next Geno Smith. Where you're like, yo, this guy has it. And there's a reason why he was a top pick. The draft Knicks were right. The problem is he got drafted to the fucking Jets. You know what I mean? Because Garrett Wilson was Rookie of the Year with him. So it's not like he's a fraud.
Yeah, there was a game I watched with Zach Wilson, and I was like, I see what they saw. We got to get back to this game real quick, though. We're so far off track.
We're gushing on everybody else.
Jamison Williams stole a touchdown from Gibbs early in the game on a handoff. Then he had a big play pass. I thought when I was seeing Williams rack up points, because Brindle put all of his eggs into this Detroit Lions versus 49ers game on Monday night, and he was trailing by like 80 points or something, but he had a quarterback, a running back, a tight end, a defense, and a kicker going. So, and the 49ers running back. So he had the firepower to pull it off, which he did. But he did not have history on his side, as San Francisco came into this game 16-2 against the Lions since '88. And you figure, as the Lions go is how Lionheart goes. He said he doesn't plan on drafting all Lions every year. He kind of did it this year since he was getting back into fantasy football. And he knows how good the Lions were going to be, or he felt that they were going to be this good. And he was right. It paid off. It's pretty bold having that many in one team on your team. I would probably never do that. But I've seen it happen twice now in leagues. There was a guy in a work league who did this with the Eagles and won championship too. And I was making fun of him. I was like, what are you doing drafting all Eagles? And he won the championship. So, I mean, this strategy does work.
Works if you hit on the right team. If you hit on the right team, it could be it. Because I can think of offenses that won Super Bowls. You got the Broncos, Payne Manning Broncos. You have the Tom Brady, Randy Moss, Wes Welker with Aaron Hernandez or Gronk team that year. It was just, there's money. There's lots of points there. You had the Carolina Panthers, Cam Newton, Steve Smith, and I think whoever the running back was, there was a lot of fancy points on that team.
Jonathan Stewart and D'Angelo Williams.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, you could draft both of them late, and you would have got you could start them both.
Yeah, kind of like he did with Montgomery and Gibbs.
Correct. You know what I mean? So there's lots of ways of doing it. Even the Tampa Bay Punishers, how he drafted Lamar, and then he got Derrick Henry. And then if he would have got the wide receiver, he could have got the wide receiver, the number one wide receiver for the Ravens. For his name, Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers would have been a late pick, and he could have got Zay Flowers, and he would have had an amazing scoreboard because that's where all the points are. So
he could have easily got Zay Flowers as our wide receiver 3 or something, easily.
Right. You know what I mean? So it depends on your team, especially the scoring, how they're scoring because I mean sometimes there's you talking about Minnesota Vikings, Justin Jefferson first pick, you could have picked up Addison later, Darnold later, you could have picked up the running back, and then Aaron Jones, and then that's it.
You could have taken a flyer on Hawkinson too and let him sit on IR for 7 weeks, and
bam, and now you're like, you don't understand. We didn't see the Minnesota Vikings averaging 30 points a game.
No, nobody did. They didn't even.
Right.
We got a shout out here. Jared Goff had another great game, 37 points, 303 yards, 3 touchdowns. Sam Laporta scored a touchdown, 6 catches, 64 yards. But yeah, I mean, Brindle won this pretty handily. It would have been 179, 131 without the head coaches. If you want to say Punishers head coach lost, that's a 121 score for him. And if a 189 if the Lions head coach wins. So this game wasn't really that close. But great season for Punishers. Even better season for Lionheart. If the ESPN app this year offered reseeding as a setting, and it did not for way too long. We wanted to do this way back in 2008 when we first started, but we decided that the website should operate as the website has intended, and people weren't going to understand if they saw us sticking with the bracket. So we just let it go, and the setting was in there. So if there was no reseeding, Spawn would have played Smash Hawk in round 2 in a 4-versus-1 scenario, and the other playoff game would have pitted Lionheart against Punishers. Spawn would have defeated Smash Hawk by a score of 185 to 179 to get to the championship game. Punishers would have beaten Lionheart 193 to 189, setting up a 1-versus-2 championship game where Rob Spawn would have defeated Rob Hine 195 to 141 in what would have been dubbed the Rob Bowl.
The Rob Bowl. Yeah, I like that.
But isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
I love the reseeding, though. But you got a player of the week. Who's the Super Bowl MVP for you?
I'm gonna give the Super Bowl MVP to the one tried and true person on his team. For real, you got to give it to Jared Goff. It's just like a regular Super Bowl. They give it to quarterback. Give it to the quarterback, Jared Goff. He's been 5 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. He's very consistent. He doesn't make a lot of bad throws. He don't have a lot of wasted throws either. That was always his high point. His high point is that he's very accurate. He has a strong arm. His negatives is that if the play breaks down, he breaks down, and it's a problem. So there's not a lot of creativity, right? There's not a lot of creativity there. So, I mean, he can run, but he's not going to be like, oh, I got to run. He's not going to think that. He'll be like, oh, I'm going to take the sack. So that happens. But if this year, the Lions been on schedule, and he's been very much on schedule. I mean, I think he's like top 5 in like touchdowns this year. You know what I mean? He's having one of his statistical best years. And it makes the Lions-Rams trade of like 2 years ago look even better. Because, the Rams got the Super Bowl with Stafford. But now Stafford's at, the tail end of his, this is it. Stafford's, almost done. Where
he looks beat up.
Right. Where Jared Goff can go for, another 5 years.
Yeah, they just re-signed him. I gave my Super Bowl MVP to Malik Neighbors. Just a dark horse candidate here. 7 catches, 171, 2 touchdowns, 36 points. That is his season high. It's also his career high because he's a rookie. Mm-hmm. He came into this game with 14 targets the last 2 weeks each, and he had 7 catches on 8 targets this week, so he had less opportunities and did more. He had career high in receiving yards in this game, career high in touchdowns with 2, which he last did in week 3. He drafted him at 66, so he's also the 6th ranked receiver. That's my Super Bowl MVP. Who's your season league MVP?
Season MVP, I would have to probably
gotta come from Lionheart.
From Lionheart?
Yeah, they won. Unless you got to give it to someone from Punishers.
Right.
It's got to be from one of these 2 teams.
Right. And I was going to do for the Punishers, I would say it's Lamar Jackson. It's simple. Lamar Jackson, he scored the highest points a couple of times. You know what I mean? If it wasn't him, it would be Josh Allen, because Josh Allen had 10 touchdowns in 2 weeks. So you have to respect that. But Lamar Jackson was the engine that made the Ravens, the Punishers, get there. You know what I mean? So we have to respect that. So, you know, the league, he was season MVP. He didn't win this game, though, but he put up great numbers again. He showed out well. Just the rest team to show up.
Yeah, I can't argue that. You could have went with Henry, too. I gave mine to Lionheart, and I gave co-MVPs, Jared Goff and Jahmyr Gibbs. Goff is 1A, Gibbs is 1B, so it'll go in the record books as Goff, but I got to shout them both out here. Goff was a 10th round pick. Gibbs was drafted 10th overall. Goff was a throw-in in that Stafford trade just to make the salaries match, and now he's probably going to the Hall of Fame, maybe. The Lions, with Goff, went 12-18-1 his first 2 years there. Then he's gone 26-7 his next 2 years. They gave him a 4-year, $212 million extension back in May. Goff ended up as a 6th-ranked quarterback, which he did without the threat of his legs, which we mentioned. He has 56 yards on 35 carries this season.
You know, the thing is, the Lions now, they're in danger, future danger, because now they're that hot team. So now them coaches about to get pilfed. You know what I mean? Ben Johnson's been the hot name. Now you got the defensive coordinator on that Lions are being there's scuttlebutt that he's going to be talked to as well. So he's going to have to hire new offensive coordinators, and who knows what happens there. We've seen the Eagles become one of the most prolific offenses to all of a sudden, you know what I mean? So
yeah, it's a house of cards.
That's what happens in the NFL.
Goff has started every game for Lionheart, even though he was the second quarterback he drafted. Gibbs started every game as well. Gibbs finished as the 4th-ranked running back, and that's with David Montgomery in the same backfield, so that's impressive.
Yeah.
Gibbs went 30 or more points in all 3 playoff games. He had a touchdown every game except for Week 3. Goff has only thrown 1 interception since Week 11. Remember, in Week 10, Goff threw 5 interceptions against the Texans in a game the Lions still won.
And they won. And they fucking won.
He had 3 touchdown passes. Goff had 3 touchdown passes in a game despite only throwing for 85 yards against the Titans in Week 8.
Super frauds.
And another reason why I gave my league MVP to Goff is he started out the season slow. The first 3 weeks, he only had 3 touchdown passes and 4 interceptions. He only scored 15, 14, and 20 points. That could have been enough to make Brindle panic and maybe even drop him.
Yeah, maybe drop him like that. But he's a Lions fan, so you just bench him. That's
right.
Yeah, you would just bench him, you know.
But carrying 2 quarterbacks is tough, and he was carrying 2.
It is tough, but it's easier. Right, it's easier in the beginning of the season because you know you have to have a bye, so you just carry him. But after that bye happens, you're like, all right, bye. You'll jettison the guy that's not producing, usually, or unless they are both producing. Then you're like, I'm just keeping him because I don't want no one else to have him.
Yeah, so that's it. Hats off to Brindle. Nobody got shot at his parade, so that's good.
Yeah.
You want to go through the money payouts here? Did you win anything?
Yeah, I won a little bit of money.
You did? Yeah. You going to spend it on anything? You going to save it for next year?
I'm going to save it for next year, like I always do.
I paid you in PayPal. You got it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the payouts are as followed. Brindle won $480, $400 for the championship, an additional $80 for 2 high weeks. Hine won $230, $150 for second place, $80 for 2 high weeks. Spawn won $310. Spawn was the best team this season, but Brindle had he got the better
place.
season, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think Spawn's team would beat Brindle's like 8 times out of 10.
Because you get 100 points for being top 10, right? Top team, you get $100 just for being top team itself. So.
Yeah, Spawn won $100 for season total points. He won $50 for third place. Then he won $160 for 4 high points, and that was easily the most in the league this season. No one else had more than 2. I won 40 high points for week 1, so I peaked in week 1 basically. You, Brandon, and Smash Hawk, you each won $80 for 2 weeks apiece. Even Freeman, despite his pathetic, abysmal season, won $40. He was easily the worst team of the year.
Yeah, he did it on me. I know. I'm fully aware. It kept me out of the playoffs. I'm fully aware. Thanks for rubbing that one in.
Heater won $60, $20 for most points against. Remember, he finished 5th in points scored, but had a terrible record because of his points against. But that's better than what both DeMosses, Art, and Jones and Slade all did. They all went home empty-handed. So we had 5 people go home with, what do they call that? Like a promotional bag.
Like just it's a goodie bag saying like, thanks for coming in, appreciate it. You know, and like the app this year has like that recap now, the rewind, the wrapped up thing is a popular thing now. And it's like, dude, don't wrap up my 7-7 season. I don't want to see this.
Okay, this is a perfect segue because I want to ask you about the draft next. Who did the recap say your steal of the draft was?
Brian
remember?
Thomas Jr.
Okay, that's fair. Mine was Justin Herbert in round 10, who I only had on my roster for 1 week. So thanks.
I guess that because it's later on. He ended up started doing really well later.
Right.
So it's like.
But that shows it's not really like my steal of the draft. I guess I would say my steal of the draft was. I think my steal of the draft was. Oh, Brock Bowers. This is easy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Daniels.
Oh, yeah. Brock Bowers is definitely him. Not Jane Daniels. Brock Bowers. Because you had elite. You had the best tight end season ever. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. From your rookie tight end, you drafted super late. Where I paid a premium pick to have like the Ravens tight end to do nothing for half the season.
I got sniped on tight end twice. That's how I ended up falling so far. And then I was like, I guess I'll take this Bowers guy. Like, there's nothing else here. Who was your worst pick of the entire draft? It can't be McCaffrey. Like, don't give it to an injured player. Like,
it's too easy.
Yeah, who was
mine's too easy.
guy who played the whole season? Not from your team, from the league.
Oh. Worst. It's my guy, Aaron Rodgers. He sucks. I drafted Aaron Rodgers to be great. Aaron Rodgers had a very subpar season. He's statistically his worst season. Like he last Sunday's had one of his worst games of NFL history last Sunday. He benched himself. The man benched himself. You want to bet Tyrod in the game because I suck. He's calling for Tyrod.
So I'm looking at the draft here. I think you could say ATN, but Hine maneuvered and avoided like the ATN debacle. I think you could nominate Nico Collins at the second to last pick in round 2.
He was hurt.
But he helped sink New Day, is my point. And then I think the easy answer here is Tyreek Hill. He sunk Freeman from the start. Even though he got to pivot off him, I didn't do him a favor on purpose, but I did him a favor. By mistake and gave him CD Lamb. But Tyreek Hill, I mean, he was better for me than he was for Freeman. For me, he had at least 2 20-point games and a 19-point game.
Right.
For Freeman, he didn't go over 13 points. Week 1, he had a good week. But after that, I mean, he was just just flat soda.
You make a very good, compelling case here with Tyreek Hill because he was healthy all year, and he was a shadow. Hell, Waddle is even worse than him, and you would never picture that from Waddle, and he was healthy all year too. So what are we doing?
But Waddle was like a 5th-round pick compared to Tyreek Hill, who went 6 overall.
Because you're thinking based off history. Hell, I would, because I remember I was thinking about drafting him, and then he got sniped. And I was like, well, dang, I guess I'm not drafting him first pick because I want Tyreek Hill, and I can't have him. And it's like good job, you didn't get him. Good job, you didn't get him.
He could be a bargain next year. I'm trying to see where Waddle went. I can't find him.
I think my most disappointing person is Anthony Richardson, because I thought maybe they would have did something.
Another Freeman pick.
Damn, I really thought Anthony Richardson would have done something this year, and it's just like because he has all the tools to do it. It's bad.
I did too. I took a flyer on him in Jordan's league, and just right away I was like, this ain't working. You could tell in that week 1, even though he had 30 points, like you see, like 12 of 18, you're like, this is not sustainable.
Yeah, it's
this isn't a real.
Yeah,
so to the Hall of Famer, it's your week, but before you nominate your latest inductee, I want to make this a game. This is why I'm doing it kind of early. It might take some time here. We immortalized 15 players this season. I'm wondering how many of them can you name?
15. Okay. Let's see. So, Randy Moss.
Yep.
I'm drawing a blank now because I can't remember. Dante Culpepper. We had you inducted Brett Favre against my will. I was like, don't do it. Was it the running back for the Bengals and the Patriots? I can't think of his name. Oh my God. I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Bob's brother.
I can't remember. Sanders?
Bob's brother.
I don't remember.
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan. Oh, Corey Dillon. Yes, Corey Dillon. Willis McGahee. Didn't we induct? Was it not that guy? It was other Ravens running back. He had a bad out. I forgot his name. It was bad. It was bad out.
Brother.
Who?
Jerry's brother.
Jerry's brother. I'm still drawing a blank there.
Jerry's brother.
I got nothing.
Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben. I really don't have it now.
Glenn's brother.
I'm saying his name. Just say his name already. I know it is. Glenn.
Glenn Rice, Jerry
Oh,
Rice,
Jerry
Ray
Rice. Ray Rice. Ah, yes. Okay, the distant cousin, Ray Rice. But beyond that, I don't think I can name of any other ones this year.
Come on, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's like 8 more.
Ah, shit, man. I can't. No, I don't got it.
I'm not letting you go out this early,
dude. I can't. I named as much as I possibly can. I'm not sure if I could think of.
I got hints for you then. The first one was week 1. I'm pretty sure it was my inductee. His son is a defensive back for the Panthers currently. His legit son, not what I was doing earlier.
Oh no, no.
He played for the Falcons and the Saints. He did one of the most celebrated touchdown celebrations of all time when he put his cell phone underneath the.
Horn. Oh wow, okay. Horn. Okay. Horn.
Moving on. The next one is Betty's son.
This is painful. I don't want to. No. Betty. Who's Betty?
Roddy White.
Roddy White. See, I would never give Betty White. You just guessing Betty White. You just gotta say Betty. Like, who the hell's Betty?
This next guy won a Super Bowl on your favorite team. He wrote a book called "Just Give Me the Damn Ball." Former Cowboy.
Yeah, the T.O., right?
No, Keyshawn.
Oh, Keyshawn, really? We ducked him in. Oh man.
T.O. didn't win a Super Bowl for your favorite team.
No, he didn't. He did not.
All right, this next guy was a second-round draft pick, so he kind of overachieved. He played in the shadow of Larry Fitzgerald. He also played for the Ravens, 49ers,
yeah, that's Anton Bolden. Yeah, that was my pick on that one.
This next guy is Russell's brother.
Wilson.
What? NBA player.
Bill Russell?
Triple-double machine. He used to play for the Thunder.
Westbrook? Oh, Brian Westbrook.
He's in the Nuggets. Yeah, okay, that's
Brian
good.
Westbrook.
This next one used to play for the Charlotte Hornets. He guest starred on Family Matters once. He also played for the Knicks.
Oh, not Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson? Yeah, Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson. Yeah, here you go. Grandma Mom.
This next guy, he kind of came up earlier when we were mentioning like all-time teams you could build a fantasy team around.
Wes Welker?
He played. No, but this guy used to throw to Wes Welker.
Oh. Tom Brady? No, Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning, you put him in, didn't you? Yeah, you put him in.
Okay, 2 more. He's real.
That's terrible.
The real McCoy.
Real McCoy? Shady McCoy, yes.
There you go.
I have his name written down on my card right here.
The last one, I fucking hate this guy. I put him in against my own will.
Oh, Drew Brees, yeah.
Yeah.
You had to. You had no choice. You let Brett Favre in there, and then Peyton Manning's in there. So like next year we'll have to induct Tom in here. You know what I mean? So it's just what it is.
Yeah. I probably would have put Tom in next week, to be honest. I'm on my Make It Right tour. So you got to get these prolific guys in.
I'm still on the tour of getting people that are not going to get in the Hall of Fame, get them in ours. All right, so I'm going to throw one together real quick. Mine will be, he was very prolific, drafted in the same draft with Eli Manning and Ben Roethlisberger. I don't think he will be himself a Hall of Famer himself, but he's absolute monster playing for the Chargers. He was an all-pro quarterback there for 14 seasons, and he also played for the Colts on the very end. Hell, the Colts wanted him to play forever. They were like, dude, just keep playing here because it was the best quarterback they had in a long time since Peyton Manning. And right now he serves as the head coach of St. Michael Catholic High School. So he's doing what he does. He was the 4th pick, and on that swap, he was picked for the New York Giants, moved to the Chargers there, returned Noah Leonard and Phillip Rivers. He's an NFL comeback player 2013. He's an 8-time Pro Bowler, NFL passing leader 2010, pass yards co-leader in 2008, passing rating leader in 2008, NFL completion leader 2013. He's part of the San Diego Chargers 50th anniversary team. Then he was really great playing for NC State in college. His career he has over 88,000 passing attempts, 64% completion rating with 421 touchdowns, 209 interceptions, 63,000 yards, and a passer rating of 95.2. He's never ever been in the talks of like MVP. He's never had that like there because he played around time with Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. So it's tough to actually do that if you're going to. That's who you're dealing with in the AFC, and then you have Ben Roethlisberger come late too to the party and was really good. But Phillip Rivers from 2008 to 2020, he has a stretch of at least 4,000 yards throwing. He only has one season where he did not hit 4,000. But beyond that, he's always thrown for 4,000. Career high 4,700 yards, and his most touchdowns thrown in the season is 34. So, and he has a very unnatural throwing. He pushes the ball down the field. That's what he's known for. It's ugly to look at, but it's accurate as fuck.
Ugly.
Accurate as fuck.
Yeah, I'm looking here. He retired 5th all-time in passing yards and touchdowns, both of which are the highest ranking among quarterbacks without Super Bowl appearances. He's 2nd all-time in consecutive regular season starts. I believe that he'd be behind Eli Manning, right? And then Favre would be behind him. Is that what happened? But, yeah, this is a good pick. I like that he's following Drew Brees last week, so that seems fitting. Yeah, he never played in like a big media market too. But, yeah, this is a good pick.
His postseason that's where his postseason. He's had 12 postseason appearances. I mean 12. He played 12 games in the postseason, and like 2007 was his best year. If you remember 2007, that was the year where LT like got hurt mid game and wouldn't come back in the game, and they had a home game against the Patriots. Remember that?
Did Nate Kading miss a field goal?
Yes. I remember
that. That game?
Mm-hmm. I was at the bar watching that, and I was like, that was the year the Chargers should have like took it, and it was because they were 11-5 that year, and that's what Sean Merriman was going off that year. It was a lot, and it was like, sorry. So, yeah, it was. Beyond that, he's never got the second round after. He never got the first round after that season. After that season, he always gets knocked out.
All right, so I think that's it for us. We did it. We didn't miss a week this year. Really no technical difficulties like last year, so we made it through in that regard too.
Yes, it is.
Which it was a little iffy if we were going to be able to do this or not this year, but the only thing that we really sacrifice is the upload time at the end, which is nothing to worry about really.
Yeah, true that.
We did it, so I guess we'll plan on being back in the off season sometime. We'll probably do a draft lottery. Maybe we'll recap the draft like we did the first season. That was fun. We gave out draft grades. So yeah, we'll be back. This is the season finale, but next year will be what, the 17th year of the league? Is that right?
Yes, 17 years. Good old teenager.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we're old.
Our fantasy league can vote, and I'd be afraid to see who it would vote for. But yeah, this was fun. I'm gonna miss doing it, and thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you guys. We'll see you guys next year.